Okay, the last class, like I said, we had stopped at the four types of consumer goods. We had discussed what were those four types of consumer goods. The first was durable goods, those goods which can be used again and again in consumption to the consumer, like example, bread, food, shirt, pens, etc. These are durable goods. Semi-durable goods, those goods which can be used for a limited period of time, are called semi-durable goods. For example, shoes, clothes, crockery, etc. Non-durable goods were those goods which can be used up in a single act of consumption, and they are known as non-durable goods. Example for these is bread, milk, paper, food grains, vegetables, etc. Services. Services are rendered to consumers for direct consumption by them, and these are non-material goods. For example, services of barbers, doctors, teachers, hotels, banks, etc. These are all comes under the headings of services. This we had completed in the last class. Now today we go on to the next topic, capital goods or producer goods. Capital capital goods or producer goods. Kindly note down the definition. Capital goods are fixed assets of the producers. For example, plant and machinery, equipments, tools, stock of raw materials, etc. These are the examples of capital goods. Producer goods. Producer goods are those goods which help in the production of other goods. Only those fixed assets of the producers are taken as capital goods, which are used in the process of production for several years and which are of high value. All capital goods involve depreciation. Now, what is depreciation? It refers to the loss of value of the fixed assets in use owing to their wear and tear. Owing to their wear and tear. Now, all capital goods are also producer goods, but all producer goods are not capital goods. You could get a question on this. All capital goods are producer goods, but all producer goods are not capital goods. Why? Because producer goods are normally single-use goods. Producer goods are normally single-use goods like raw materials, which are non-durable goods, while capital goods are repeatedly used in the process of production. Capital goods are repeatedly used in the process of production, and these are durable goods. So thus we can say all capital goods are producer goods, but all producer goods are not capital goods. Clear? The next topic we have is factor income. Factor income and transfer income. Factor income and transfer income. Kindly note down the definition. Factor income refers to the income which is received as a reward for the factor services in the process of production. So they are rewards for factor services. What are the factors of production? Land, labor, capital, and enterprise. So example will be land gives what? Rent. Labor will get what? Wages. Land, labor, capital will get interest, and entrepreneurs will get profit. So examples of factor income are rent, wages, interest, and profits. Then transfer payments. Transfer payments refers to the income which is not received as a reward, which is not received as a reward for the services. No service is rendered for transfer income.
Please repeat.
Example, gifts in cash, scholarship to students, old age pension, etc. are all examples of transfer payments. Next, stock and flow. The next topic, stock and flow. Write down the definition. Stock is that quantity of economic variable which is measured at a particular point of time. Measured at a particular point of time. For example, national wealth, national wealth, money supply, national wealth, money supply, national capital are examples of stock. Flow. Flow is that quantity of economic variable which is measured during a period of time. Example, national income, consumption expenditure, etc. These are examples of flow variables. They are measured over a period of time. That period could be maybe yearly, half yearly, monthly, whatever. They have a period of time. Whereas a stock is measured for a point of time. Next, meaning of circular flow of income. Meaning of circular flow of income. Okay. Circular flow of income refers to the flow of money, income, and expenditure for goods and services across different sectors of the economy in a circular form. Circular flow of income is defined as the flow of payments and receipts for goods and services between the different sectors in the economy. There are three different phases of the circular flow of income. There are three different phases in the circular flow of income. The first phase is the production phase. Production phase. Second is the income phase. And the third is the expenditure phase. So there are three phases in the circular flow of income. Production phase, where the productions of goods and services with the use of productive resources are used, and this is also called the generation phase. This is also called the generation phase. The second is income phase. Here there is a distribution of income to the owners of productive resources, and this is called the distribution phase. Income phase is also called as the distribution phase because it is the distribution of income to the owners of the productive resources. And the third phase is the expenditure phase. This is the expenditure of income on the purchase of final consumer and capital goods. So all expenditure of income on the purchase of final consumer and capital goods is the expenditure phase, and this is also known as the disposition phase. Disposition phase. So the first phase is generation phase, second phase is distribution phase, and the third phase is disposition phase. Now next, types of circular flow of income. Types of circular flow of income. Circular flow of income is of two types, or circular flow of income is of two types. First is the real flow. Second is money flow. Real flow is where we have flow of goods and services, flow of goods and services, and money flow is the flow of money. Now we will do them in detail. Write down real flow, the definition. It implies the flow of factor services. It implies the flow of factor services. In brackets, write down what are those factor services: land, labor, capital, and enterprise. From household to the firms, and goods and services from the firms to the households. So here we have two sectors. Let's say we have the household sector. We have the household sector and we have the firm sector. Household and the firm sectors are two. Now in real flow, the households are giving factor services, and I told you land, labor, capital, and enterprise, LLCE, they are giving to the firm sector. Household sector gives factor services to the firm sector. What are the factor services? Land, labor, capital, enterprise. And the firm sector in return gives back goods and services. Goods and services back to the household. This flow is called the real flow because there is a flow of goods and services. Household sectors give the factor services, which is L, land, labor, C for capital, E for enterprise. They are giving the factor services to the factor firm sector, and in return, the firm sector will give goods and services to the household sector. So this is the diagram of the real flow. Now we come to the money flow. Write down a definition. It refers to the flow of money in the form of factor payments, and consumption expenditure among different sectors of an economy.
Please repeat.
It refers to the flow of money in the form of factor payments and consumption expenditure among the different sectors of an economy. It is also known as the nominal flow. It is also known as the nominal flow or income flow. So now I am drawing the diagram for money flow. The second diagram for money flow. Starting from here, the firm sectors, what do they give in reply to factor services? They will give factor payments. So we have factor payments. And what would these factor payments be? Land will get rent, R. Labor will get wages, W. Capital will get interest. Enterprise will get profits. So you see, the firm sector gives factor payments for factor services in the form of money. So this is the diagram of the money flow. And the households, once they get the money from the firms, what do? They spend it on consumption expenditure. Consumption expenditure. Consumption expenditure on goods and services. So these are the consumption expenditure on goods and services. So now this is the diagram for money flow, where there is a flow of money. Okay. Very soon my time is running out. I may have to shut down, but we will continue as long as the time schedule is permitting us. Okay. So now a quick revise. Two types of flows of income. The real flow, which shows you the flow of goods and services. And the second is the money flow. In the real flow, what was it? The households was giving factor services and they were getting back goods and services, right? If you look into your copy. And in the money flow, we have the flow of money where the firm sector gives factor payments to the household in the form of rent, wages, interest and profits, and the household sector uses this factor money which come, the payments which come for consumption expenditure on goods and services. Any problem? If anyone can unmute themselves. I still have. Okay. Now I shall draw the next topic. Can I wipe out this? Yes? I'll wipe this out.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Now the next is the model of a circular flow of income in a two-sector economy. Model flow of income in a two-sector economy. Write down, in a simple economy, there are only two sectors. There are only two sectors, household sector and the firm sector. Household sectors own all the factors of production. Again, I'm repeating, what are the factors of production? Land, labor, capital, and enterprise. So the household sector owns all these factors of production, and they consume goods and services which are produced by the firms. And the firms produce goods and services which are sold to the households. And here we will assume that first of all, there is only two sectors in the economy. Secondly, there is no saving in the economy. We are assuming. Third, there is no government sector in the economy. And fourth, there is no foreign trade in the economy. So, what do we have? Household, two sectors, household, and here we have firms. Now, households will give factor services to the firms. Factor services. What are the factor services? Land, labor, capital, enterprise to the firms, and the firms in return for this give the household factor payments. Factor payments. What are the factor payments? Land will get rent, labor will get wages, capital will get interest, the enterprise will get profits. So this is the first flow. Okay, then when we have the factor payments, households get money. They use this for consumption expenditure. Consumption expenditure. On what? On goods and services. And what does the firm gives? The firm will give back goods and services. Goods and services. Make sure you put the arrows properly. Look at the diagram again. Households give factor services in the form of land, labor, capital, enterprise to the firms. The firms in return give factor payments for these services. Land gets rent, labor gets wages, capital gets interest, and entrepreneurs, they get profits. Now, when the money comes in to the households, they use it for consumption expenditure. They will buy from the firms. What will they buy? The firms sell goods and services back to the households. So you see, we can conclude that here total production, I'm writing in short, total production is equal to total consumption. Total consumption. Second will be factor payments. Factor income. Third, consumption expenditure. Consumption expenditure. I'm writing in short, EXP is equal to factor income. And the last, real flow is equal to money flow. So this is a module of a two-sector economy where we assume that there are only two sectors, the households and the firms. There is no saving in the economy. There is no government sector in the economy, and that there is no foreign trade also in the economy. In other words, this is a closed economy. And this is how the circular flow of income goes. Okay, I'll repeat quickly. Households give factor services in the form of land, labor, capital, enterprise to the firms. Firms in reply to this or in return to this give them factor payments in the form of land gets rent, labor gets wages, capital gets interest, the enterprise will get profits. Money comes in the form of payments. They get, so these payments now they use for consumption expenditure, for buying goods and services from the firms. So naturally the firms will give back goods and services to the households. And what do we conclude from this? Total production is equal to total consumption. There is no saving. Nothing is saved. Factor payments equal factor money. If this is a payment for them it is an income, right? Payment from his side, income from the households. Then consumption expenditure is equal to factor income. All the income which you get is also consumption expenditure, spent on consumption and expenditure, and real flow is equal to the money flow. This is the complete diagram of the two-sector economy. Now, if we have a two-sector with a financial system in between, okay, then what happens? Then we have what we call in the middle a financial system. Now this is an addition for a, when there is a financial system, what happens? There would be savings from the households, and when they require, they can borrow from the financial statements.